Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. This is Tactical Nuts Gear Review, where we look at some of the coolest products in the tactical market. Today we're going to be talking about one of the most important pieces of tactical equipment, and that is your boots. And more specifically, how do you protect them against water? A lot of boots these days are Gore-Tex. That's great. They have Gore-Tex lining that keeps the water out, but that doesn't stop the leather from absorbing any water, moisture, snow, you name it. We have a pair of Salomons that routinely get wet, whether it's running in snow, hitting puddles, going on hikes, etc. They end up getting wet and the leather stays soaked. So here's a new pair of Salomons. This is the Quest 4 GTX. We are gonna try waterproofing these, or at least protecting the leather with some Sno-Seal beeswax, the original waterproofing. It lists all the uses here, from hiking, mountaineering, hunting. You can use it on gloves and many other types of leather goods. So we're gonna give it a shot. They do recommend that you warm up the boot, heat the boot prior to applying the wax. That way it melts into the leather and soaks deep into the pores and fibers. So you can use a heat lamp, put them in a sunny window, use a hair dryer, a space heater. They even say you could throw them in a extinguished oven. I don't know if I would try that with a nice pair of boots. But we're gonna use a space heater, heat up the boot, and then try and apply it and see what it looks like. We'll do one boot and then do a side-by-side on a boot that has the beeswax and then one that doesn't. And we'll take a look at whether or not the appearance of the boot changed or not. But this beeswax gets really good reviews, so we're gonna give it a shot and see if we can keep our feet any warmer. They're already dry, but when the leather gets wet, of course it acts as a heat sink and sucks the heat right out of your foot. So we're gonna give it a shot. Do you guys waterproof or weatherproof your boots? If so, what product do you use? What works out well? What do you recommend? Have you ever tried this Sno-Seal? Please share your thoughts. Drop us a comment, hit the like button, subscribe, and we'll keep doing some reviews of some cool products in the tactical market. These boots, by the way, have owned them in different colors. Absolutely love them. What boot do you guys run? What boot do you prefer? I know Salomon is a highly sought after brand, and they seem to be pretty durable and hold up to getting beat up. So let us know your thoughts. All right, so the boot's in front of a space heater right now, warming up a section of the leather that we're gonna try coating with the beeswax. So let's get this can open and take a look what the Sno-Seal looks like. All right, there it is, exactly what you'd expect from some wax. Pretty pliable. I recommend just working it into the leather until it won't soak up any more wax, and then to wipe any excess off with a cloth. So, all right, let's grab our boot, see if it's the right temperature, and start applying. All right, that didn't take real long to heat up the boot in front of a space heater. We're just gonna try this part on the inside to see how much it changes the appearance of the leather before we decide to do it to the rest of the boot. If it may change the appearance, it may darken it, but we're most interested in it being weatherproof. So not as concerned about the appearance. All right, let's start working some of this wax in. Just gonna grab a chunk of it and start massaging it into the boot. All right, takes pretty easy. Just gonna work it in here. It's all right if it contacts parts of the boot that aren't leather, that's fine. It'll just add some protection on the other material here. And then once you're done applying it, it's just going to dry. So in these tough to reach spots, I'm wondering if maybe a small brush would be of some assistance, so maybe we'll grab a brush here in a second. But for right now, let's see what we can get in here just with our fingertip. And like previously mentioned, they do recommend to warm up the leather. It works better that way rather than putting it on and then trying to heat it up. So the leather was warm. Space heater was at about 95 degrees. That looks pretty good. Work it in here for another couple minutes. You know, the other thing is it moisturizes the leather and preserves it. So it should add to the lifespan of the leather, kind of add to the durability, prevent the leather from drying out. All right, so that looks pretty good. So let's do a side-by-side comparison of. So there's one. The boot on the left obviously has the beeswax, and then on the one on the right does not. So yeah, it does darken it up a decent amount. So if you're concerned about that, or that's an issue for you, you may want to look at a different product, maybe a spray, but it seems like most products are probably going to darken the leather. All right, so we have two finished products here. Both boots have been pretty well coated. A couple lessons learned here is they take more wax than what you think, so you're going to have to probably put on more than a single coat. The second thing is, yeah, the warmer the boot, not hot, but the warmer the boot, the faster the wax kind of turns into an oil and seeps into the leather. So definitely pay attention to that and get the boot pretty warm. There was definitely some overspray or over application, I guess, on some of the non-leather parts, to the point where it ends up hitting some of the seams, but I think that that's probably okay because it's going to create a little bit of a coating on the very edge of the leather, which should only further enhance the waterproofness. So we're going to contrast that to a pair that was worn today rather, that's still wet, that's been drying out for several hours and has also been up against the space heater. So the toe's finally dried, but the side of the boot is still wet, and it's not just wet, but it's pretty cold. So imagine what that does when the whole thing is wet and it's against your foot. It just starts sucking the heat right out of your foot. So the idea of the Sno-Seal is to prevent this on this new set of boots. And then once this set dries out, provided it's clean, I'll apply some Sno-Seal to this boot as well and restore it. Well, it probably didn't even have any, it definitely didn't have any waterproofing to start with, other than the Gore-Tex membrane underneath. But like I pointed out, that doesn't do really anything for the leather. And the problem with drying it out is then the leather also gets dried out too. So you gotta moisturize it, which this beeswax should do. So, all right, you guys, hope you enjoyed the video. Hopefully you picked up a thing or two. Maybe you have experience with beeswax, or you use some other waterproofing. Let us know what you use, what you think, any questions you may have, and if there's anything significant after wearing these or trying these boots out now that they're waterproofed, we'll post another video or drop a comment in the comment section. All right, you guys, thanks.